play with Steph Curry, and they're doing it. It's the same thing. It's just how it's come to be is different.
Okay, but all I know about Steph right here, right now is he's the greatest shooter we've ever seen.
Yeah.
Okay, we got that.
Yes.
But can you do it when it matters most? Because I'm here to, look, I love Steph Curry, but I got to be objective about it. Every stat across the board from down in the post, every stat across the board, field goal percentage, 3-point, PER, turnovers, win shares, you can do them all. They're all a little off. They're not a lot off, but they're all a little bit down. What does that tell you? That whatever, maybe he's not made of quite the right stuff, which brings us back to right now. He has the greatest opportunity at age 31 of his career. Right. So he's starting to he's in the middle of his career, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so now we've seen what he just did for 1 quarter, 1 game against Houston, and then 4 against Portland. And
5 games in a quarter.
Okay, 5 games in a quarter. It's the best I've ever seen him play.
Yes.
What's the competition? Portland, not great. But Houston, yes. But it came out, it was like a bolt out of the sky where all of a sudden he had no time to think about it and get ready for it. It just happened. Kevin pulled up lame. Yeah. And all of a sudden he took over with 12 points in the 4th quarter of game 5. And in the closeout game, remember, he came up empty in the first half.
Yeah, go ahead, 0 points.
And most people thought, uh-oh, I tweeted that at halftime. He scored 0. That doesn't bode well for Houston in the second half, right?
Right.
He scored 23 in the 4th quarter. It's hard to do in any game, regular season or post.
Right.
He did that.
Right.
Okay, so is that enough to vault him toward the top 10? I don't know. Now this could be enough. I think Toronto's really good. I think Toronto is underrated good as a team.
I agree.
And obviously, number 2 is playing at the highest level he's ever played at.
And the thing is, Skip, is that when I said they were a great team, the Golden State Warriors were a great team before Kevin Durant joined them. Kevin Durant made them virtually unbeatable in a 7-game series. Now with KD out, now they come back a little bit to the pack.
Okay, so it's on him. This is his moment. Can you take it over? And again, the more I hear about Kevin Durant, I don't get it. Now, there was a report last night on ESPN that it was unclear whether he was even going to be aboard the charter that leaves this afternoon from Oakland to go to Toronto for Game 1 on Thursday night.
Right.
Why not? Well, are you not even with him at all?
Well, I think the thing is he's hurt more than
okay, you could be right. So clearly he's out for 1 and 2, and then what? We don't know, but it's starting to feel like he's just out.
He's correct.
Right?
Yes.
Okay, let's surmise he's out for however far it goes. He's out for the rest of the year. He's obviously out on his team, too, because he won't even go sit with them during the game, which I don't understand, but that's just me. Just maybe I'm too old school like that.
Yeah, you old school.
Okay, so what does it say for Steph Curry that all of a sudden now you're really on stage?
Right.
This is it.
Right.
And back in 2015, what happened when Iggy wins Finals MVP? Okay, it was Steph's first big stage where it was his team, right? Okay, and what happened? What did your man do? I told you it's the greatest stretch of LeBron James' career. I've never seen anything like it before.
Yeah, he was playing unbelievable.
Hey, it was unbelievable. He put that team literally on his broad shoulders, and he carried that team that had already lost Kevin Love and lost Kyrie in overtime of Game 1.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
They lost. Let's see. They lost that game. I know they won one.
They won Game 2.
They won Game 2.
Correct. Then Game 3.
Thanks to LeBron. Delly had some contributions late in Game 2.
Delly got fouled on a putback and made both free throws.
Okay, he did, and it was big. So then they win Game 3, and they're up 2-1 in the King's house. Game 4 is in the King's house, and if you win that game, are they going to win that series?
I feel
Don't
comfortable.
you feel pretty good about it?
I do. I felt a lot better.
And what did Steve Kerr do as a young head coach?
He inserted Iggy late in Game 3.
Okay.
And he saw something. That made him say, you know what, we're going to go Iggy in the starting lineup.
He put him in the starting lineup for Game 4. And LeBron had by far his worst game of the finals.
Yes.
He was 7 of 22. Some people were telling me, well, he ran out of gas because he's carrying such a heavy load. Okay. Maybe that was part of it. But Iggy was a big part of it. And in that game, Iggy scores 22, and he made 4 of 9 threes. Pretty good. Yeah. Had 8 rebounds in that game. And I'm not saying he took LeBron out of the game, but I think he was a big reason why LeBron had a bad game.
He had a bad game.
Right.
But you look at that series, LeBron averaged 35, 13, and 9. And the finals MVP is the guy that's being credited for slowing him down.
Okay. So then Iggy continues. He has 14 and 8 rebounds in game 5. And then in game 6, the closeout game, 25, 5, and 5. Pretty good. He'd have 2 steals each game. He had 2 steals in that game. And he winds up making 9 of 22 threes for those 3 games, which is 41%. Meanwhile, quietly in the shadows, Steph Curry over those last 3 games is making 14 of 31 threes. That's 45%, which is what he made during the regular season, right?
Yeah.
So our man Chris Broussard, we're going to have him on a little later, he has said from the start, Steph should have been MVP.
Because Steph averaged more points in the that series than he did in the regular season.
Okay.
And with the exception of the one that they lost, Skip, his finals numbers are better than his regular season numbers because he averaged both years that they won with KD was the finals MVP. He's over 27 points a game.
Okay.
So it's not like I said, they make it seem like the guy just stepped off a cliff, and he's not doing that. It's just so that they lost the year, that he's a unanimous MVP, and it was also the season, Skip, he went 50, 40, 90. He shot 50% from the field, 40% from the 3, and 90% from the free throw line.
Okay.
And all those numbers were down across the board in the finals. Now people they were like, man, I'm out on Steph, man. I mean, he great regular season. No. He had one bad playoff stretch, and it just so happens in the finals. But other than that, Skip, he's been phenomenal. But with 4 titles, with 2 league MVPs, one of them unanimous, and a finals MVP, you're starting to talk about only LeBron and Jordan and Duncan and Bird and Magic can roast that resume.
You're leaping to a conclusion we have not been able to leap to, that he's going to win finals MVP, even though he's favored to do so.
Well, here's the thing. He's favored because KD is not there. Because if you remember the past 2 years when KD was there, who was favored to win the finals MVP? Kevin Durant. So, yeah, this is pressure. He understands what this is about. He understands that he needs to be great like he was the last game and a quarter of Houston, the way he was in the 4 games against Portland. He understands that. He knows what this game represents for him, and I believe he'll be up to the task.
Okay, so the reason yesterday I struggled with our prediction about this series was in large part this man, Steph Curry. Because I can't completely trust him on the biggest stage. And I'm just telling, the history says no.
Because I'm looking at the history, he's averaged 20, the last 2 playoffs, he's 27.5, 6 rebounds, 7 assists, 27 points, 8 rebounds, 9 assists. What does the history say? And you mentioned...
They're just down from the regular season.
No. The only year that it was down was 2016, the year they lost to LeBron. These numbers are all up.
No, but I can do all his playoffs versus all of his regular season. The playoff numbers are all slightly down across the board. Total career, post versus regular.
Is it really enough to make that big of a difference?
No, but it's enough it's cause for a little pause where you just stop and you say, well, okay, because we just saw the greatest stretch. It was sensational. It's like in impact, I don't know if I ever saw Jordan have any more impact than Steph had over those, 5 games and a quarter, right?
Yes.
Okay, but now we're to what really counts.
Well, we're going to talk about LeBron James against Detroit, the bad boy Pistons, too. We're not going to talk about that Eastern Conference Final. But I get your point. Go ahead.
But they had no chance. That team had no chance to beat my team in the finals because it was a mismatch.
Yeah, right.
Okay, but we're talking about this was Steph versus a Houston team that a lot of people, including me, gave a real good chance to get to the finals and win the finals.
Well, we felt even stronger once KD went down because, we thought they should have won that game there. That's James. That's your time, James. I mean, you're the reigning MVP. Take this game over. And they said, okay, even though they lost that one, they're going back home. They're going to get this thing back to Golden State, Skip, for Game 7. And Steph Curry says, we're going back home to get ready for Portland.
23 points said that.
We're going back, but you're not coming with us.
Again, I'm trying to be totally objective. What have I not loved about Steph even more so this year? More and more. This is just me. I'm just being honest. Hot dog, showboat,
Coney Island.
Just like, come on, man. We got everything. He's beating his chest. He's talking to the crowd.
Cheese.
He's chewing on his mouth guard. He's doing this, doing that. Like, okay, I got it. But after a while, I need you to do this in the font. Do this first, then you can showboat all you want.
Well, Michael Jordan was showboating with his tongue hanging out of his mouth. tongue dragging on the
He
floor.
just won 6 MVPs
I don't
and
care.
6 chances. So
Well,
sorry.
Steph Curry about to have 4.
Okay, now I'm turning you into a Steph fan when I was the Steph fan.
Whoa, talk about.
Now, I'm more objective.
Hold up, talk
on this
about.
side.
Wait a second.
Okay, he better do it. He better do it now.
First of all,
This is it.
You make it seem like I've been anti-Steph. I've just been against Steph's team because Steph's been going against LeBron.
It's your team.
Yo,
that is
right,
correct.
Exactly.
So now your guys watch on the couch. No, I'm sorry. He's winning 3-point contests with 14.
No, actually, he's in his backyard in Malibu.
Is he?
Yeah, with them old
little
heavers.
cookout?
Yeah, you saw him yesterday.
Yeah.
Had the party, had a partners over there.
Yeah.
Chilling.
Really chilling. Boy, that's not all he can do.
All that being said, Skip, the Warriors can't win this series unless Steph Curry is great. Steph Curry has to be the finals MVP.
Okay. So I ended up picking Warriors in 7 just because I even less trust the guy on the other.
No, you can't listen.
I less trust him.
Hold on. After what you've seen over the last 2.5 weeks, how could you not trust him?
So many shaky fourth quarters, including the one the other.
If you put all your if you put all your eggs in that basket and you went to the market, you don't have to worry about tripping.
Really?
Oh, you in good hands.
Really?
Oh, you in good hands with Old Claw.
Really?
Old Claw?
Really? The guy who's shooting 26% from the 3-point line since Game 5 of the Philly series. I'll trust him. Yeah.
And he's still shooting what? 39% from the 3. Could I interest you in that? Would that be if someone were to shoot for the entire season, if they were to shoot 39% from the 3-point line?
Pressure is mounting. Now we're getting to the real stuff.
Oh, and he's averaging 29 points.
Now we're getting into Michael Jordan territory when he went 6 for 6 in the finals. But, this is where...
Come on, he playing Stockton.
This is where you earn your, so to speak, spur.
John Stockton's trying to guard him. He got the ball palming over John Stockton. You remember Skip in the finals? He had the ball like this here over John. That's in the NBA finals. He's got the ball in one hand and he's palming it all around his man's head. An NBA player, a fella NBA player, and you proud of that?
Boy, I hope the sun's out here in LA, or we're going to get struck by lightning right
You
now.
proud of that?
Stop jinxing us.
Yep.
You proud of that?
Any of
Come on,
that.
you can't do it.
You can't do what?
It's such blasphemy what you're saying.
What'd I say?
He made the shot of shots. He held the pose.
No. Oh,
I was
Kawhi.
sitting
Kawhi made a shot and sat down with it.
Did he?
You saw Kawhi shot down. He sat down.
He was so shocked.
No, he
when
wasn't
it
shocked.
went
He
in
wasn't
on
shocked.
the 5th bounce.
No,
Way to go.
Speaking of LA guys, should the Lakers send Lonzo Ball to Washington
That's
this
a good
summer?
question.
We'll discuss
I
next.
hope so.
Don't forget, you can
you
check
hope
us
so.
out
I hope
every
so.
day on the Fox
Wow.
Sports Channel on Sirius XM. I'm looking forward to hearing that. We'll be right back.